Hello and welcome to my channel dedicated to beautifying life and creativity. I'm CrisiMi and we are back after traveling a lot. We, the CrisiMi team, traveled and discovered a lot of beautiful things which we already presented to you in a previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, check the link below. And while traveling so much, among many beautiful things that we saw and that inspired us, we also visited some very beautiful and interesting medieval fortresses. So I decided to make a special episode about these medieval fortresses and about their unique and mysterious beauty, so that you can enjoy them and also to get inspired. You know, people all over the world have this fascination towards medieval buildings and towards medieval times, and I wondered why. Because I also have this fascination, and pretty much everybody I know is absolutely fascinated with medieval castles especially. And one of the factors that inspire people regarding medieval ages, I think it comes from childhood, when everybody at a certain point wanted to be a prince or a princess and to live in these very beautiful and splendid castles. So this could be one of the reasons. There is also another reason that I think it's important in this attraction towards medieval, and this is the aesthetic factor. The buildings of those ages are very, I could call them organic. I mean, yes, they are made from very natural materials, especially stone and wood, and also they fit very well into their location. They combine very well and very harmoniously with nature. And if you will see to the images that we brought from our travels, you will see that these medieval places just fit in and they come there and complete the nature, and sometimes nature also completes the fortress or the castle and is somehow part of a wall or somehow a part of a functional and utility aspect of this medieval building. And there is also another factor that I discovered to be very appealing, and this is the legends and the stories that almost every medieval place that we visited, and especially in the entire world, every medieval place in this world has a legend or a story connected to it, and this brings people into the mysteriousness. We have encountered 3 absolutely astonishing and amazing medieval fortresses, and let's see together their amazing legends and beautiful details and aspects that they have to offer. Shoimosh Fortress, which means the Eagle's Fortress. This is because on this hill a lot of eagles built their nests a long time ago. This fortress was built around 800 years ago. The legend here at the Eagle's Fortress, or Shoimosh Fortress as it is called here in Romania, is that actually at the beginning, when this fortress was built, there were 3 fortresses built by 3 sisters, 3 noble sisters, but very arrogant ones. And the legend says that in the day before starting building these fortresses, the 3 sisters gathered and started talking in their very arrogant way. The first sister said, well, with the help of God, by tomorrow I will have this fortress, my fortress, done, completely ready. The second one also said, yes, my fortress will also be ready by tomorrow. And the third sister, to top them all in their arrogance, said, well, I don't need any help from God or from anybody, and my fortress will also be ready by tomorrow. Well, after this, the second day came, the builders started to do the work, and of course, as the sister said, by the evening of that day, the fortresses were ready. But as soon as they were ready and the last brick was put into the wall, the 3 fortresses fell completely apart, completely down, torn apart, and the 3 sisters were transformed into 3 white snakes that were having 3 golden crowns on their heads and also 3 golden keys in their mouth from each of the fortress. And since those times, the 3 sisters transformed into snakes are waiting for somebody, for a Prince Charming or any kind of savior to come and kiss them, and when this will happen, the fortresses will be again up in their entire splendor and the snakes will return to being women as they were once upon a time. Well, I don't know, we didn't see any kind of white snake, but for sure the fortress that we visited was at a certain point completely up and beautiful and shining, so I suppose at least one of the sisters got her Prince Savior. Then we arrived to Devon Fortress, which was built in the 13th century and now is partially restored. And here a very big and foggy surprise awaited us, meaning that when we arrived in this very old fortress, we were surrounded by a huge and thick fog and almost nothing else was there to be seen but the fortress, and then a milky fog all around us. And also this beautiful fortress is very robust and is very circular in shape, and it's over a hill which is also a circular hill, so it's a funny thing that this circular shape and together with the fog probably just made us all crazy, and we were just circling and circling the fortress, and we thought that we are discovering new places in there, but actually we were just going round and round over the same walls. Going up to the city of Devon, the Devon Fortress. Probably this mysterious fog was also the one that inspired the legend behind the Devon Fortress. The legend here says that this fortress was actually built with the help of 7 dwarfs. These 7 dwarfs were living at the beginning of times there in the fortress. But after a while they decided to just go around the world and left the people there to take care of the fortress. And after they left, they were returning from time to time to see and check if everything is okay. But while they were gone, the legend says that a dragon with 7 heads found lair there. And nobody could throw away this dragon, which was terrifying the people in this fortress. So the dwarfs were called by the people to help them to kill this dragon. Unfortunately, the 7 dwarfs could not kill by themselves the dragon with his 7 heads. So the dwarfs had to call upon a mighty hero, which after hard work just killed and cut each of the 7 heads of the dragon. And since then, the Devon Fortress is a happy and quiet place, the legend says. Well, the history said something else, because Devon Fortress was actually a military fortress and it was guarding the area against invaders. Our road took us to the city of Sebeş, which was a fortified medieval city. And current days there are only a few pieces of the old wall remaining here in this city, and we discovered a few of them, but the one that appealed the most is a tower that remained from the old Sebeş fortress, which has a very interesting and cool story. And this is not a legend, it's actually a real story that happened here 600 years ago. At that time, the city was attacked by the Turks, by the Ottoman Empire, and citizens of Sebeş were under attack and took refuge in this tower, which is now currently known as Students' Tower. And this name is given because during that Turkish attack on the citizens of Sebeş, just a few of the people here remained alive. The remaining people, as I told you, took refuge in this tower, and among them was a student of only 16 in age. And he was very brave and one of the leaders of the few remaining people. They were trying to attack back the Turks, but of course after a long time of being under siege they were caught. Most of them died, but a few of them were caught, among them also of course the student, and they were taken by the Turkish invaders as slaves. After 20 years of being repeatedly imprisoned and sold from one master to another, the brave student succeeded in convincing his last master to free him. So he was free now, and he left to Western Europe, and finally he arrived to Rome. The cool part is that once in Rome, after 20 years of slavery, the brave student just didn't want to forget all about his bad experience. He decided to write a book, a manuscript that became a bestseller of those ages. His bestseller was titled Treatise about the customs, morality, life conditions, and wickedness of the Turkish people. As we can see, the student did not enjoy a very good life there in the Ottoman Empire. Well, what could we expect from being a slave? And Not at all surprisingly, this treaty was extremely well received by the entire Europe, especially the Western Europe, because until then there was almost no manuscript or no information in detail about the daily life of the Turkish people and this Ottoman Empire. So he sold the treaty very well, and in the following 100 years, the treaty was republished 25 times. I hope that you enjoy the beauties and the magic of medieval times, and I hope that you find inspiration in it. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and always remember to beautify your life and your soul. Bye.